Hi, I'm a developmental psychologist. I'd like to talk to you about that cookie challenge. Now, if you are like me, and you may not be, but my FYP has been full of people doing the cookie challenge where you've got three family members, usually two parents, child in the middle, and they get to see what surprise they have. They have three plates covered with, paper towel, something like that, and they go and they see, oh, look, one family member, one adult, will have one cookie. The child will have two cookies. And then another adult will have no cookies. And they want to see how the child reacts. As you can guess, some kids, they say, cool, I got two cookies, yay! And they eat their two cookies and they're happy. Whereas some will look and say, oh no, this family member doesn't have a cookie. And so they may share their cookies with the family member. There's a variety of different responses out there. I even saw one couple did it with their pet pig. Pet pig ate everything. And it wasn't cookies, it was bananas for the pig. But so I'm seeing this, and a lot of people, if their child does not share, if their child just goes ahead and eats the two cookies, they say, oh no, I guess we failed as parents. This is where I want to weigh in. This is where I want to talk about something called theory of mind. Now, if you haven't heard of this before, and if you haven't taken a class that went over developmental psychology, I could understand that you hadn't heard about it before. But theory of mind is this ability to understand that other people have different perspectives from you, and picking up things like body cues, nonverbal cues, and just knowing a person to figure out what they may be feeling, what they might be thinking. This doesn't show up immediately, though. It develops slowly, like many characteristics that are important for social development, living in our world. And so a lot of people I see doing the cookie challenge, those kids look pretty young. Theory of mind, usually you see it emerge developing between ages 3 and 5. And children with autism spectrum disorder, they struggle with theory of mind. That's one of the characteristic features. They even have this term that they apply to them. They call it mind blindness. I mean, if they are going to develop the ability to exhibit, features that we associate with theory of mind, they need some help. They need some social skills training, some education, even if they're going to get there at all. But for neurotypical children, they still are not going to be showing theory of mind super early on. Now, we do see these skills show up in a sequence. And so they develop the recognition that other people may have desires different from one's own. So if you have not gotten here yet, you're just going to be thinking, I like cookies. I have two cookies. I should eat two cookies. You're not even going to be thinking about those other people in the room and whether they want a cookie and whether they're sad because they don't have a cookie. They go on and they develop the recognition that people may have different beliefs on the same topic. And so this is understanding that people might not like the same things as you, might not see the same situation, the same thing as you, same way that you do, so like you're happy. Of course, everybody else is happy. I'm happy. The understanding that people draw from different bases of knowledge, and this is less related to the cookie task, and the understanding that others can hold false beliefs. This is why kids are really bad liars at first, and then if they are neurotypical, they get better, unfortunately, over time. You have to understand theory of mind to understand lying and to become an effective liar. And I'm going to, showing you the rest of it down there. And the recognition that people can hide their true emotions. So understanding things like sarcasm and masking and holding back your true emotions and things like that. All right, so let's talk about the cookies. Does it mean that you have failed as a parent? I kicked it. Does it mean that you have failed as a parent if your child does not share the cookie? If they are less than 5, definitely if they're less than 3, I would not have that concern. Now, if they don't share the cookie, does that mean that they have autism spectrum disorder? No, there's way more that goes into that. But any parent who is concerned, you could start, doing some what we call emotion coaching. All right. We get a socialization of emotional regulation and emotional understanding. Simple things like with that cookie task, just really emphasize, oh, look, one person didn't get a cookie. I bet they feel sad. And then letting the child contribute to the conversation. How do you think they feel that they didn't get a cookie? And in some of the videos, you'll see that happen where the child will pause and be like, oh, I bet they're real sad they didn't get a cookie. And then they'll pause and be like, oh, I want my cookies. Oh, but I don't want this person to feel sad. And sometimes they'll hesitantly, give the cookie over. That's when you're teaching about emotions and emotional understanding. And parents can certainly contribute to that. And so the cookie task may not be as meaningful as some people are making it out to be.